Hey, Evander. You committed to this team committed to you. Just how do you see yourself fitting in, embedding yourself within this group going into this year?
Uh, I mean, very similar to last year. I mean, I think I know it was came in halfway, but we had a long playoff run, so I think that type of stuff, is kind of last year. I've embedded myself in this team, and I'm happy to be here.
You obviously had a lot of personal success. The team had success, and you even admitted it was kind of hard. You're playing catch up a little bit when you joined the team after having not played for so long. Is the potential even higher for you? You think, hey, now I have a whole camp, and you and Connor's chemistry seemed to just build as the season went along, and how you can just carry that over into this season?
Yeah, I think it's nice to start on time and be able to be with the group from day one. I think that will help. I think at this point, training camp's about kind of building and getting ready for the regular season. So I think that'll be great for us to be able to use camp and some of these exhibition games that we play in to hit the ground running come October.
This group, there's high expectations, maybe the highest in Edmonton in a long time, and a lot of that probably even comes internally. Where do you sense your group is at as far as the taste you got last year and how you build on that this year?
Yeah, high expectations are a good thing. I think, as you said, none higher than in our room, and we're looking forward to building on last season. At the same time, it's no season is ever the same, and we understand just getting to the playoffs is going to be a tough task, especially in our division and in the Western Conference. So we have to have a great start to the season, and we got to make sure we're earning our playoff spot so we can set ourselves up for some success, hopefully when we get there.
Hey, Vander. Just got that San Jose situation settled. It's done now. How do you feel about the fact that it's done? How did you feel about the resolution that you eventually ended up at?
Yeah, lot of different thoughts on it. Happy it's over and done with. I won't get into it too much. It'll probably be in the Netflix doc when I'm done.
Have you signed yet? Is that in the works? So
We'll see.
Is it different when you know you're going to be with this group for a little while? Like you came here last year just kind of with intentions to do the best you could while you were here, but you signed and you're now with this group and it's longer term, and is it nice to be able to maybe invest in a little bit of a different way knowing it's longer term for you?
For sure, yeah. I think just not so much the hockey side, but just more the personal side with the family. So it's nice to be able to get settled and settle in to Edmonton and be able to not wonder where you're going to be. I think it just provides some nice consistency for the family.
I was watching you at the end of the skate yesterday. You got your elbows up with Hyman and were pushing and shoving with him. Then you went over to Niemelainen, same thing. Elbows up, pushing and shoving. Is this your way of bringing that grit to the group that you did last year too? I know it was all playful.
Yeah, no, I think we got a really good group of guys, and we like to have some fun out there. And I think when you get guys that maybe aren't accustomed to getting involved physically as much as maybe I am, it kind of maybe brings that out a little bit. Boosh and Yamo too. Yamo likes to get after it, so it's all fun.
Evander, when back here, when last season ended, because of the cap and how many goals you scored, it seemed there's no way you're signing here.
You're right.
I guess maybe we can ask you how that slowly turned around and you end up signing here, and was it a surprise to you?
Well, the cap is a shitty thing for an NHL player, especially a good one. But no, it's like I said, this is a great opportunity. It's part of it is also the right fit, and I think with this group, this organization. From the top down with Kenny and Jay and Connor and Dry and those guys, it was hard to pass up, and having an opportunity to truly compete for a Stanley Cup and hopefully hoist one here on a Canadian team. Those are things that as a kid you always wanted to do. And I had that opportunity this offseason to hopefully start that. And, I wanted to be a part of it.
When you arrived here last February, you sat right in that spot, and we asked you a bunch of tough questions. A couple days ago, Jake Furtanis sat there, and he got a bunch of tough questions too. Yeah. Did you, or would you have any advice for him how to just go forward here and be a hockey player, and would you speak to him?
Yeah, I mean, every situation is different. I don't know too much about his. I obviously knew he prevailed in court. I think when you're dealing with tough situations, there's a lot of things that people like to speculate about. People like to pretend they know about. People like to pretend they have insight about. And a lot of that is BS sometimes. I think time, it's funny how time and letting things play out, how attitudes and views change. You can speak to that I can speak to that with my own situation. It's funny how time allows attitudes and opinions to change. But at the same time, everybody has their opinion. Nobody's going to nobody's going to like you. 100% of people. I could donate $5 million to charity today, and somebody will find something wrong with it. That's just the way social media specifically is, and the age we live in today. So, with regards to Jake, he knows what he did. He knows what he didn't do, and that's left with him to deal with.
Well, Evander, I gotta ask, what's your alternative to the salary cap? You have one?
I think the only alternative would be no cap, right? I don't know. Yeah.
So we had Ken Holland up here a few minutes ago, and he was talking about that top six really being locked in. But in some degrees, it isn't, because you guys have moved all over the place. You guys can play with everyone. What kind of intrigues you about that mix in having a half a season with that group that you can kind of transfer?
Yeah, I think everybody plays with each other or has played with each other, whether it's specialty teams, power play, 5-on-5. So I think everybody has a really good comfort level. We're all confident that in what we bring to the table as individuals to make that group tick and really go. So we'll see what Jay puts together. I'm sure it's not going to be too much of a surprise to anybody, and we'll take it from there.
I wonder about how you're getting settled here now that you have a longer-term contract. I know you and your partner had a baby relatively recently. What's kind of the situation for you and how comfortable you feel in Edmonton and all that type of thing?
Yeah, no, it's been great. Like I said, honestly, ever since I got here, landed at the airport back in I don't know if it was January or February. Everybody's treated me really well. So the fans and the community's been great, and that only continued to rise as time went on, and it was no different coming back for the opening of this season.
Evander, more of a team question, but the NHL has a weird history of teams that go deep in the playoffs but don't win the cup tend to struggle the next season. The two conference finalists 2 years ago didn't make the playoffs. This last year, a lot of cup losers go on, miss the playoffs the next season. You talked about the goal first, making the playoffs. Is it hard in this city sometimes where people are already talking about April to kind of get back to these goals and say, hey, there's work to be done?
Yeah, I mean, you can't accomplish anything if you don't make the playoffs, right? Everybody's talking about April and being cup contenders and so on and so forth, but you got to get to the dance first. And we have to make sure we have a solid regular season and put ourselves in a good spot so we can have some success in the postseason. Last year, at least when I was here, we did a great job of that. Obviously, we want that to continue, and I think there's no reason why it can't. Beautiful. Thanks, guys.